My name is Manny Peñate. We're here in lovely Fort Lauderdale. Prior to CCTG, my most recent assignment, I was a Senior Vice President over a $2 billion sales organization in North America for a Fortune 100 company. Prior to that, I was involved as a COO of a roll-up of acquisitions, which we eventually sold to a strategic buyer, and I've been involved in the private equity world for some time prior to this venture. As I looked at my last quarter, if you will, of my career, I wanted to do something completely entrepreneurial that I could do with minimal investment and complete upside that allowed me all the flexibility that I was looking for this next stage of my life. That's where I've met the folks from CCTG and been happy ever since. The 7-day training was an experience. At first, you really don't know what to expect. I did a considerable amount of research, actually sent a lot of the information to some of my trusted advisors and friends, just to check my own intuition against it. Once you're there, again, you don't know exactly what the week is going to be like. After a week, you reflect on it, and you go through a real journey of learning the financial industry and your new place in it. And you make some interesting links as to the nature of the new business that you're in and that industry in of itself. The lenders and the banks whom you meet, who actually come and visit throughout that week, some on the phone conference, many of them in person, are real professional. These are folks that have been doing this for decades in some cases, senior level individuals that really bring a lot of value. So I can only say that I was actually pleasantly surprised about the amount of information that you can capture in 7 days the way they have it organized. The trainers were terrific. John and Chris both have enormous depth of experience in this industry. And they deliver it in a way that for those of us who have business experience, but still have not had this specific industry experience, that we can connect those dots, and they really bring it to life. I can only say that even since the training, I still consult with John specifically on a number of deals and so on. So as far as their knowledge, as far as their ability to deliver the content in an easy to understand fashion, I give them an A+. You know, the lenders that you meet during the training, their focus is in helping you succeed, because if you succeed, they succeed. And their business model is developed around this type of relationship, if you will. So ever since that, beyond the training, ever since I've been engaged in deal formulation, each one of them that I've reached out to has responded promptly. Their insights have been incredibly helpful. My recommendation to anybody considering this is that you consider the lenders as an extension of your business and as a business partner. So you treat them the way you'd like to be treated would be my recommendation. You know, the training was definitely worth the investment. And in fact, beyond the training, the investment you have to consider in terms of support that you're going to get after that from John and Chris. So in a nutshell, I couldn't imagine having started this sincerely without having gone through that training, and the amount of time it would have taken me actually to assimilate that kind of information. So definitely worth it. I have to say that one of the biggest value is the support after the training, and to bring it to life is After you've assimilated all that kind of information in a relatively short period of time, 1 week, you're going to now go back and you're going to start fielding deals. That's where the real value comes in, where you can place that phone call, where you can brainstorm, where you can think through with John as to who would be the best lender for this particular situation, what would be the best approach, and how to best handle it from soup to nuts. So to me, the follow-up to the training is a great piece of the value, or a great portion of the value, I must say. The marketing that they provide is multifaceted, and considerable effort is placed on the whole digital marketing piece, which, you know, in today's environment becomes very important. One of the advantages that they have is that their marketing team is purely focused on this industry. So as opposed to going to another company that might be doing search engine optimization or pay-per-click campaigns who are not completely focused on the industry, these guys are truly focused on the industry. Consequently, they have more leverage, more knowledge, more insights, etc. So I have found their marketing programs to be quite helpful. Our approach remains as well to work through trusted advisors and develop those channels of opportunity. So you have to have a multifaceted approach to marketing. You can't rely just on the digital, nor just on the shoe leather, if you will, on the street. You've got to combine the two. In one particular case, we're actually working with a, believe it or not, world-recognized brand. This particular brand outsources their distribution and manufacturing to another company. And so we're working with that particular entity in helping them restructure their balance sheet as they are preparing for accelerated growth. In addition, that leads us then to working with them on some potential acquisitions. That's just one deal. We have other deals, as if, for instance, with exporters. Exporters are a good target for our business. And in those particular cases, we're helping them even out their cash flow from the time they get the receivables to the time they get the payables. There's a lot of time between those, and so we're assisting those exporters with that. We're assisting other companies right now in the investment in infrastructure. And whether that is by the form of equipment purchases or by the form of lease outs. On the commercial real estate front, we're working with multifamily investors, and two in particular right now who are in the process of making some significant acquisitions. We're working with another one who is focused on warehouse investments. That's their focus. And another one who is looking at office buildings, in addition to a current business owner who's actually looking at buying his own building so that he doesn't rent anymore. Those deals vary in size, in scope, and complexity, and length from the time you start it to the time you close it. But needless to say, the commissions are very worthwhile. We're a private company, so we like to keep those numbers with a certain amount of discretion. But I will say that one or two particular deals could easily return the investment of your initial training. So for anybody looking for or at least considering the CCTG training, and by the way, it's beyond the training, I'll call it CCTG opportunity. What I would emphasize is this is not unlike any other business opportunity that is legitimate. And by that I mean it does require focus, dedication, it does require hard work, and it certainly is not a get-rich-quick scheme. That's not what they have created here. What they've created is an opportunity that if you have enough acumen, desire, and really put the tools to work, it will happen. It will take some time. Whether it's CCTG or any other business startup, you always want to recommend folks to have their finances such that they can withstand the first few months of any startup. So this is not unlike that. Where I see the advantage here is you do have a format to follow without being locked into a franchise or franchise fees, as a for instance. You do have a support system, and you do have an accelerated pace to enter the market because of the introductions to those relationships with those lending institutions. So they provide you with all the advantages. It's then up to you to really execute. So my final thoughts on the CCTG experience, if you will, would be this. If you are looking to start your own business, you want a business-to-business services, and you want to place yourself in that environment, especially if you want to be in the finance industry and you want to offer those services, I would encourage you to look very, very closely at this opportunity. I've looked at quite a few prior to doing it. Beyond the format and beyond the introduction to the lenders and the learnings that come out of the training and then the support that you receive, especially from John, because that's a bigger function of his role in helping you evaluate the deals and so on and so forth and accelerate your learning into the industry. Beyond all of that, to the best of my knowledge and having exchanged now quite a few conversations with them, these guys are really there to help you. And their interest really is in helping you succeed. You succeed, they succeed, like in any other business. So I would encourage you to do your research, compare, and wish you the best of luck in your decision.